because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their gilt rings. Right, the bouncers gilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Zaban IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to have with me bulletproof himself, Brandon Glanton. Brandon, good to see you, my man. How's life treating you?
Life is good. It's wonderful on this side. I'm loving it.
What you loving most about this side?
It's actually nice to sit back and be a fan and observe a fight. Obviously, I'm here for more than one reason, but biggest reason being able to see my teammate in action live. So that's sweet, man. Just to relax for a minute and see what all the fans get to enjoy.
Enjoying the sun. We don't normally have it many times in the year, but we've got it, especially for you and your visit. But enjoying the sun?
Yeah, man. I was up in Manchester earlier, and sheesh, it's cold, especially at night. So it gets a little cool here at night, but no, it's beautiful, man. You actually felt some heat out there on the pier, so I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Before we get on to yourself, let's talk a little bit about your friend Lawrence Okolie. He's up against Chris Billam-Smith, who is known for a long time. They've sparred together, had the same trainer once upon a time as well. So I saw you in the ring, yes, on Wednesday, just shadow boxing with Lawrence. But how do you think he'll cope under pressure? 15,000 fans against him, against someone who knows him very well.
Like I said earlier, it's not going to be any pressure once he gets in the ring. I know a lot of people like to think that fighters are under pressure when they're fighting in somebody else's house, and if you're weak-minded, it can be. But Lawrence is not that. I joke with him and I say, man, you're a sociopath. Like, he's unbothered by anything. So I'm sure he'll be right at home once he climbs through the ropes. He won't hear the fans at all. He'll only hear his trainer, and I'm sure he'll handle business with Chris Billam, as I've spent so much time with him, and he'll be fine. I believe he's going to make quick work of Billam, like he said. It's a big task dealing with Lawrence, so Billam he's not ready for that.
You know, as fighters, Lawrence has come back-to-back, 9 weeks from David Light to Saturday night, tomorrow night. As fighters, is that a bit... I know in the past they talk about great fighters went in the ring every 3 months, every 12 weeks, but today's age, with what we eat, what we breathe, what we do, lifestyle has changed. Does that help a fighter, being consistently active like that?
Absolutely. That's a good thing. When you take care of your body, when you don't have much of a party life, you know, you can do that. You can recover quicker. You can spend more time in the gym. And for him, obviously he handled business with David Light, and he's right back. You know, like I said, it's like I went to camp, left camp, and came right back. And so it's just like you pick up where you left off. He didn't show everything he could do against David Light. He brought me back, as Billam and I are similar. So it worked out perfectly. And for him, it's just, like you said, more activity. So he'll be a bit sharper, a bit faster. Conditioning will be a bit better. And I think it worked out perfectly for what he wants to do with his own career.
Well, we look forward to a great fight tomorrow night at the Vitality Stadium. So, Brandon, what are you doing other than Lawrence Okolie? Because every time I'm looking at the weigh-in, or whether it's the press conference or whether it's the workout, I'm hearing security all around you, holding you back. Like, who are you here to cause trouble with?
Listen, I came to make a fight with Isaac Chamberlain. Obviously, I went to Ireland for Tommy McCarthy. He's a sugar bear. I tried to get him, hardly any response. Went to Manchester to get Jack Massey. He gave a response. I don't know what he has coming up or what he's working on, but that's a fight that we want to make. Isaac Chamberlain, he's right here with no opponent. He was without an opponent, so I saw opportunity.
Were you ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great fight. It's better than who he's fighting. As of yesterday, he didn't have an opponent, so they went and got the nearest taxi cab driver they could find, and he's got an opponent now. So hopefully we can get that fight soon after.
Where did his name pop out from? Has something happened in the past that you've come in and said, look, I want Isaac? I know Lawrence obviously has fought many years ago as well.
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, I was dealing with an individual who had business relationships with Hennessy, and I was looking for a fight. It was before I fought F.A. Pochi, so we were looking to kind of get me overseas or maybe bring him, whatever we could, just to get a bigger fight. Isaac Chamberlain's name came back, and I accepted the fight. Unfortunately, Hennessy wanted him to have 2 fights before we stepped in the ring. They wanted him to have a tune-up fight, because I guess he was off for a bit of time. He wanted him to have a tune-up fight and then a real fight before we stepped in the ring. I accepted. I get it. It is what it is. I was offered $15K for the fight. I accepted the fight. So when I saw him, and without an opponent, doing his media workout, I'm like, hey, I'm right here. Let's do it. Like, seriously, there's no reason why I would have time to get everything done. And he made the comment, I've never heard of you. That's a lie. And I almost gave him the benefit of the doubt, because, you know, maybe Hennessy didn't want to blow his confidence and say, hey, well, we got this fight, but I don't want you to fight this guy. That's what I'm thinking. But when he said that yesterday, oh, well, when we offered you money, you didn't accept it. Like, wait a minute. I thought you didn't know who I was. So he made a few other comments that made this come a little more personal. So, like I said, I want him to win his fight tomorrow in devastating fashion, and hopefully we can make that happen this year. He is a sugar bear. Isaac is not a puncher. He has had 8 knockouts in 8 years. He's had 2 more professional years than myself, and I have almost double the knockouts. So he's just not he's domestic. He's a domestic fighter. He doesn't know what it feels like to fight internationally. I don't even think he did it as an amateur. So he's not ready for what he's asking for. But I'll show him.
Jack Massey as well. I know you were going to go and find him in his gym and put it on him, but again, is that something that's happened in the past as well with Jack Massey? No,
you know what? The thing about Jack, I don't know Jack from a can of paint, but Jack has a name. Jack has a good record. He's a decent fighter, and I feel like it would be a nice light touch to make my introduction to the UK. I don't want to do what Chamberlain is doing and finding, you know, an Uber driver. I'd rather fight somebody with a name, with some ability, who's tough, who will be there, who has something that would help benefit me, push me forward. Jack Massey is just that. He's just a light touch, and one you need to take seriously.
Your last couple of fights, obviously, not the last one, the one previous to that was David Light. I think you lost on split decision, and then the last fight was majority decision. Kind of when you reflect back on those losses, kind of what went wrong?
Yeah, so obviously with the David Light fight, obviously I can't make everyone see what happened. I can only ask that those of you who didn't watch, go watch the fight, and they'll see that there was something amiss in the judging. Bless David Light's heart, and I wish him a speedy recovery. As far as Sozlan Azbarav, both men took a beating, and as a fighter, there are certain things I can't say, certain things I can't comment on, but both men took a beating, and I can only ask that you take time to go watch the fights.
So in terms of when you're fighting next, do you have a date? Do you have an idea which country that might be? Will that land back in America or here in the UK?
As of right now, we're looking at August 4th in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a nice little homecoming. I haven't fought at home in a little while, so that's what we're looking at right now. We're still in search of an opponent, so hopefully we can get that done quickly. If not, then maybe it'll be Chamberlain or somebody we can get off a good win.
You've seen the atmosphere over the last couple of days today. Fans are crazy here in the UK. They love boxing. Probably not as crazy as America, and unless it's a huge fight, right? But have you kind of, when you see the atmosphere, does that give you that extra urge to fight in the UK?
Hey, like I said earlier, you know, I think I would rather fight in the UK right now, because I went to the Katie Taylor fight. It was only about 15,000 fans, but they were 15,000 fans that were locked in. Oftentimes back home, we unfortunately we get big fights and guys are looking at their phones and they're not jacked into the fight. But these fans are active. These fans love boxing, and boxing originated here. So I think this is going to be a good look for me. And obviously the cruiserweight division is stacked over here. It's all systems go for me. So I'm looking forward to fighting over here. These fans are amazing. The people are amazing. Even the people that are constantly in my DMs that are from here for Chamberlain, it feels good to know because they're jacked into it, right? Obviously, he's got a following over here. Obviously, Jack Massey's got a following over here because they live here. As I'm sure if they were fighting me in my hometown, they would get the same message. So that's a pleasant thought for me to know I'm going to knock both of these guys out, and all these fans will be for me. So it's wonderful.
In terms of your management structure, kind of who manages you, who are you aligned to, and also your promotional outfit?
Yeah, so Nova Sports has turned things around for me, and Nova Sports played the biggest part in making sure I came over to do this. Nova Sport, as you know, Elliot is he's a mastermind. I gotta say, promotion, pro boxing, Gary Jonas. So everybody's doing their job. You know, Nova Sports has been an absolute blessing, and everybody who knows me back home know that for a while management was a curse word in my book, but Nova Sports has been able to turn that around, and I like what's going on. I'm happy. I'm more than satisfied with my team and everybody on it. So we revamped everything. We got rid of some people who weren't needed, got rid of some old things that weren't needed, and now everybody's in the same accord, and we moving forward.
Okay, Brandon, thank you for giving me a few moments of your time. Anything else you'd like to add before we end?
Tell Chamberlain, when you watch this, make sure you make quick work of your boy so we can go ahead and make it happen, get these people what they need, and you can get your marshmallow security guard out of my face.
Brandon Glanton for IFL TV, thank you very much.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 17, we nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,